Hello everyone, my name is Sandi, welcome to Exploring Tarot, and today's video is going to be a VR to the hashtag 22 faves, where people have been choosing the favorite card of each Major Arcana card from all of their different decks that they have. And well, to say that this was an easy feat would be to lie. And I'm not really... I'm going to admit straight away, I did not manage to do this. So I'm going to cheat. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry to everybody else who has actually done this tag properly. I might not even tag it under 22 faves. I might just create a new hashtag and calling it all of my favorite mages. I don't know. But anyway, today is Midsummer Night's Eve here in Finland. So cheers to you. I've got a little bit of nice cold Riesling here in my glass. It is a huge holiday here in Finland. Where we celebrate, but it's basically Litha, but we celebrate it around the weekend instead of actual solstice. So I have a day off today from work. It's an official holiday here in Finland, so I decided to spend all day knee deep in cards. Which, you know, to be honest, it's been a perfectly splendid day. And I've got my balcony door open, and I'm not sure if you can hear that helicopter that's just suddenly decided to swoosh on by. But anyway, so I started out this whole thing by taking out all of my decks, like literally every single tarot deck that I have. And I started going through all of the mages, through all of the decks. And I picked out quickly, without thinking too much about it, I just quickly picked out all of the cards out of each deck, all of the mages, obviously, out of each deck that I like the most out of those mages in that deck. And I ended up with a huge pile of cards with all the mages. So I decided, okay, I need to go through each pile again and weed out some of them, do an elimination process. And I managed to wheedle it down a little bit. Here are the cards that did not make it through the round. But I'm telling you now, the pile that was left is way bigger than this. And then I realized that I'd forgotten a couple of decks that I had stowed away somewhere. And actually, now when I'm telling you that I've done all of them, I have actually not done the ones that are in my purgatory space. So there are a few decks that did not even make the cut to pick out my favorite mages, and those are just generally not the decks that I've been reaching for lately. So, but yes, these are the cards that I really like, but I ended up eliminating from my favorite mages. Dun dun dun. But anyway, I am going to flip the camera around and go over to tabletop mode, so that we can have a closer look at the cards and I can concentrate on talking about the cards. So yeah, stay tuned. Okay, so the excitement is rising. Let's start in order, shall we? So the first one is obviously the Fool. And honestly, I could not pick Pixie's Fool, because it's just so classic, you know. It's the Fool that most fools are based upon. And unfortunately, I don't have my ultimate rider, like Smithwaite version yet. I'm still looking for the perfect pixie deck. This one is pretty close, but it's not much to my liking. The bright yellow backgrounds do kind of put me off a little bit, but so yes, the original or the traditional, let's say traditional Rider-Waite-Smith or Waite-Smith Fool is definitely one of my favorites. The next one, I have these in no particular order. I'm just going to flip through each pile because I could not choose only one, as I've explained already. So you're just going to have to bear with me on this. I will try to pick a favorite out of these piles from each pile. Okay, so each major will have a favorite at the end, but I will still show you all of these cards. Because I can't not talk about all of these beautiful cards. So this Fool is from the Oak, Ash and Thorn, drawn by the beautiful Adam Ohlers. And how can I not love this card? How can I not love this card? It's such a beautiful little baby deer. Learning how to walk for the first time, stumbling around in this dark forest. It's the perfect Fool energy, honestly. I'm only going to talk very briefly about each card because we have a lot of cards to go through and I don't want this to become a video series. So, next one up is from the Wildwood Tarot. I just love the way the energy in this card, the rainbow at her feet, the like Peter Pan-esque clothing, and Will Worthington's art is just always going to be close to my heart. So yeah, love this Wanderer instead of the Fool. It's beautiful. The next one up is the lovely, beautiful Fool from the Victorian Fairy Tarot by Linnea Weatherstone, drawn by Gary A. Lippincott. And fun fact that the Linnea told me is that this card is the only card in the whole deck that features a human being. So yeah, now you know that. This is a beautiful card. I love the lighting in this card, with the glowing fairies dragging this young man into the fairy realm. It's gorgeous and amazing, and it just gives me all of those good Fool vibes. Next one up is this happy young person wandering off, ready for adventure, from the Anna K Tarot. And it's just, I love his facial expression. Look at that smile. He's just ready to take on the world, and I adore this card. Next one up is from the Tarot of the Magical Forest. This little pig. It's just everything. I love him so much. I love this card. The just the whole like framing of the whole thing. You can see the layout where the cliff takes up most of the card, and the pig is just kind of squeezed up in the corner here, and he just looks up at the sun, and yeah, adore this card. Adore most of the cards in this deck, to be honest. It's so cute. Next one up is from the Gaian Tarot. I adore this card so much. Look at that fox and these birds and the landscape here. I can see myself in this card. I can see myself going out on a little voyage on a hike or something, and this could be me or anybody that I know, just walking around on the hillside trying to find the next thing to do. Yeah, this card just gives me such, I don't know, it gives me a feeling of euphoria almost. Adore it. And then the next one up, and the last one, is from the Anecdotes Tarot. I love this one because the art style just really appeals to me overall, but I also like how we get all of these all of these little suggestions of travel and of going somewhere with the ship that he's holding in his hand, and the air balloons over here and the bridge. And then on the coat, I really love how we get representations of each suit on the coat of the fool as well. And honestly, these boots are so cool. I adore this card, but which one shall I pick as my favorite? That is the question. And honestly, I couldn't pick one before, and you'd have to just take my pick with a grain of salt, because I love all of these. I don't know. I mean, for the Fool, if we're going for a pure Fool energy, I would have to go with either the traditional one or the Anarchy one. But if we're going for one, although the Gaian one is just so gorgeous. Alright, I'm going to do what Krista told me to do, and that is to look away and then just instinctively pick the first one that I put my eyes on. Okay? So, looking away, and that one. Alright, so I've picked that one, but I love all of them, so take what you want from that. Next up is the Magician. And we have not got a smaller pile here. On the other, I actually think it might be bigger. So, in no particular order again, here we've got the first card. This is the Magician from the Saint Soleil deck. Oh, what is it called now? What is it called? Illuminating something. I will put it in the card here. So this is the Magician from that deck. And this is a deck I haven't actually worked with yet. I ordered it because it was gorgeous, and because it's got these keywords on top for the upright one, and in the bottom for the reversed keywords. And I picked this one because this Magician, first of all, it just looks really magical. And second of all, it's a female magician, which we don't see very often. And I really like this magician. I like the golden flecks as well, if you can see that. Really gorgeous. Also, I like how she's got like several arms, like 4 arms. So we've got as above, so below here, but then she's holding each suit in her hand. None of the suits are put away or lying somewhere else. So yeah, gorgeous card. The next one is the Magician from the Londa Tarot. Now this is a deck. This was my very first tarot deck ever, and have not been watching it or using it much since I was a teenager, and I got it then. I just pulled it out for this video and decided to have a look at the mages, and this one really struck me somehow. It just I just love the intensity in his face, in the eyes, and I really get the kind of pompous, self-centered, slightly full of himself vibe from this that I kind of like that my magicians have sometimes. So I decided to add this one to the pile last second. But yeah, that's from the Londa Tarot. Next card is the Magician from the Anecdotes Tarot. So a repeat card here. Love these colors, love the oak leaves, the birds that are here on the in the foliage. Love that the Magician has this traditional Marseille style hat on. In one hand he's got binoculars, and in another hand he's got an hourglass. And again, this artwork just really brings me in. I love this card. Next one up is the traditional magician. I still really kind of like this one. I love the way that the greenery and the roses kind of frames the card, and it's the magician that I learned with, so it's a bit difficult to not include him, I feel. The next magician up is from the Dark Mansions Tarot, and I have not worked much with this one yet, but there's something about this magician that I really adore. Just the thoughtfulness and the way he's inspecting that wand, and I feel like scientists overall are kind of magicians, and this really makes me appreciate that a bit and remember it a bit more. I kind of, so that's why I love this card. The next one up is the gorgeous and cute magician from the Heartspun Tarot by Erin Haldane. And I love this fox. I love his little cheeky smile, and it's just a great callback to the original Rider-Waite-Smith magician as well. I could probably leave the original or the traditional one out because I chose this one. The same could go to say with the next one in the pile, but yeah, love this card. Could not leave it out. Next one is the cutest little bunny from the Luna Lapin Tarot. Again, straight up copy of the Rider-Waite-Smith magician, but had to include him because he's so goddamn cute. Next one is from the Lua Tarot. Next one is from the Lua Tarot, and this magician is just, again, a woman. And I just kind of like the calm confidence that she exudes, and the little hand on the hip, kind of saying, I do what I want and I'm fine with that. And yeah, this is one of the newest decks in my collection, and I haven't even done a flip through walkthrough on the channel of it yet, but I decided to include this one even though I haven't worked with it, because it just kind of came out at me when I flipped through the cards, and really adore the details in this card as well. Next one is from the Gentle Tarot. This magician, is just so full of power and magic, and I feel really empowered whenever I see this card. I adore it. Next one is from the Chrysalis Tarot. This artwork is by Holly Sierra, and I adore Holly Sierra's art. Had a hard time finding a favorite major from that deck, I must say, but this one made the cut. I adore the reference to Hugin and Munin from the Norse mythology here, and just the all-round feeling from the ravens, and yeah, love it and adore it. And the last one is from the Guardian of the Night Tarot by MJ Cullinane, and this is a raccoon as the magician, which I think is a perfect fit. They are so trickstery and so clever, and make things work for themselves. So really adore this card. Love this whole setup of the card as well, the colors in the background and little spark of magic there at the top of the wand. Perfection. So if I were to choose one magician for my favorites out of all of these cards, Let's see if I can even fit them all in the frame. Like so. Right. If I were to choose one favorite, the one that means the most. Oh gosh. Oh, I can't. Right. I will do process of elimination here. Not that one. Not that one. None of those. Not that one. Not that one. Although it pains me, I love this one. I am taking that one out. And I am taking that one out. And I am putting that one back in. Oh gosh, you guys. Right, taking that one out, even though it's gorgeous. Alright, just because it's so goddamn cute, I'm gonna choose this one. But this one is also a favorite. And this one. And all the others. But mostly this one. Okay, so this is my favorite magician. Right, that's that. Next one up is the High Priestess. And we will start out with this another card from the Heartspun Tarot. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous card. I love the white tiger for the High Priestess. Love the eyes again in this card. Oh, so good. The next one is from the Llewellyn Tarot, and I adore this High Priestess. She looks powerful and mysterious, and yeah, adore the colors in this card as well, and the forest vibe. Oh, next one is from the Victorian Fairy Tarot. This card makes me laugh every time I see it. She just looks so funny, like one of those typical, fake mediums that you see on telly kind of thing. It's like, oh, I can see this in the future. It's just it's a funny card, and I just adore the artwork of Gary Lippincott overall. So this had to join the ranks. The next one is from the Anna K Tarot. This is the card that made me buy the deck in the first place. I mean, come on, look at this with the moon phases just coming from her lap, and just love everything about this card. Next one is from the Lord of the Rings Tarot, and it's Galadriel, and it's just perfection in every way. I mean, she is the High Priestess. She just is. Enough said. The next card is from the Druidcraft Tarot, and I had to pick this one as well because she just looks so serene and powerful at the same time, and ancient and important, and yeah, this is a High Priestess I would go to if I needed advice, definitely. I also included this High Priestess from the Spirit Song Tarot because I really love the Spirit Song Tarot, but for some reason hardly any of the majors made it through the cut to the favorites, except for this one, and I think it's because it's a lynx, and just the feel I get when I look at this card is just very very High Priestess vibes. The next High Priestess is the Seer from the Wildwood Tarot, and honestly, oh, so gorgeous. So gorgeous. She is powerful. And just, I can't say any more than that. She's just so good. Next one up, I've got so many High Priestesses, jeez. The next one up is the illustrated Trionfile della Luna edition High Priestess, and she just, I love her so much. She is amazing in every way. Love it. And of course, I had to include the Wise Woman from the Forest of Enchantment Tarot. This card is just, I'm losing my ability of explaining how awesome this card is. It's just so serene and comforting for being a High Priestess, and really just a card that I just adore. I adore so many cards. This is going to be such a long video. We're already at 22 minutes and I'm only on the High Priestess. Jeez. Alright, so the High Priestess in this card is from the Oak Ash and Thorn. Love this depiction of the High Priestess as well. And as I'm going through these cards, I'm definitely noticing now, and while I'm talking through it, the ones that I love more than the others. So it's a good thing that I've decided to also make an elimination at the end of each of these. So, wine break. Love the scroll, love the moon, love the stance. Oh, gorgeous card. The next one is from the Guardian of the Night Tarot. And this bat is just perfection as the High Priestess, because, you know, the main thing about the High Priestess, I feel that the main thing that most cards or most decks pinpoint with the High Priestess is intuition, and bats and intuition just goes hand in hand with their way of navigating the world, with their echo. What do they call it now? They call it. It's not sonar. It is echolocation. With the way they navigate the world, by echolocation, it's just fascinating and beautiful, and definitely a good card for the High Priestess. The next High Priestess that I chose is the High Priestess from my first deck, so again from the Londa Tarot. This one gives a perspective of this younger woman, but this one really spoke to me as a teenager. You know, the witchy vibe, the confidence, the just all round badass High Priestess vibes in this card. It's just so good. The last but not least, this card. I cannot praise this card enough. This is from the Gaian Tarot, and I adore this card. Just look at all the details. We can see a younger woman on this side and a older woman on the other side. We have this owl and the moon, and then this like greenery as the tapestry behind her, and this fish at the bottom here, and the water as the backdrop. Everything about this card is just, it just screams High Priestess, and I adore it. So, choosing my favorite one is going to be tricky. Super duper tricky. I'm gonna remove this one from the start. It's nice, but it's not gonna beat some of these. Right. Why am I putting myself through this? To be honest. Okay, so I can immediately tell you that there is no one card that's going to make the cut here. But I'm going to remove that one. And this one. Sorry. I am also going to keep... I'm going to remove this one. And I'm going to remove that one and that one. And this one. And this one. Alright, so I've narrowed it down to these priestesses. I love Galadriel as the High Priestess. It's just a perfect choice. Alright, so... Oh, alright, I'm gonna... Okay, so we've narrowed it down to these three. Alright. I have now finally decided this is my favorite High Priestess card. If you have to, you know, put me against the wall and ask me to choose or die, then this one. But honestly, love the others also so much. Right, next one up is the Empress, and we are starting out with the card from the Gaian Tarot. Love this Empress so much. I love that they're calling her the gardener instead of the Empress, because it just brings you so much more meaning to the card, you know. Instead of just being the pregnant woman or the creator or something, it's just like you are nurturing something to come to life, whether it be children or fruit or yourself, you know. I just really like this card overall, and she looks so comfortable and happy and glowing, and yeah, adore. The next one is from the Lua Tarot, and I chose this one to be part of it because I just love how badass she looks. She's not pregnant, she's not necessarily doing anything for anybody else, she's just playing some music for herself, and looks like she's like challenging someone to, you know, kind of go against her opinion. I like that for the Empress. The next one is the adorable little Empress from the Magical Forest, Tarot of the Magical Forest. And yeah, love her little smile and how she's just sitting there and enjoying herself. And it's just got all of the things that this card needs, so like her. The Empress from the Llewellyn Tarot is also part of this selection. She looks so regal, so sure of herself. Adore this artwork, just super good, love it. The next one is the adorable little Empress from the Lunar Lapin Tarot. Again, just, you know, a really lovely depiction of the Empress. And just love her little bunny ears. I also had to include the Empress from the Lord of the Rings Tarot, because how could I pass up on Arwen? She also strikes me as a perfect Empress, and I just adore this card, especially placed next to the Emperor, which, spoiler alert, is in the pile for the Emperor as well. The Green Mother from the Enchanted Forest of Enchantment Tarot is also part of my favorite selection here. She is just so nurturing, so green, so lovely and luscious. Could not pass her up. And the last one in this pile is the Empress's Domain from the Majestic Earth Tarot. I just love the feel in this card, the lusciousness, the colors, the overall just feel of empressiness from this card. And also I like the little, I don't know if it's going to pick up because it's so dark, but there's a cow lying here in the shade, which I really like. All right, picking our favorite Empress. I feel like this might be more easy than the other ones because I didn't pick as many Empresses. Alright, looking at them now, I feel like I could easily just go like this and say those go, and then it's between these two. Now, if I was silly, I would say I can't choose this one because the High Priestess came from the Gaian Tarot, but oh gosh. This is a tough choice. I love both of them so much. Like, I love this one for the new take of the Empress, but I love this one for the just general feel of the Empress, you know, the feeling I get when I look at this card. So do you know what? I'm going to pick the Llewellyn Empress. I am. And I have. So that's my favorite, for now, of the Empress. So, the Emperor is next. You're going to see a lot of cards from the same the same decks. I don't have that many decks, to be honest. But this one is from the Luna Lapin Tarot. I adore this Emperor so much. Look at his grumpy little face. I love it. I don't know why. He's just so adorbs. Right, the next one is the card that I already spoiled, the Aragon as the Emperor from the Lord of the Rings Tarot. It's amazing. Aragon is the Emperor through and through, and he's a good Emperor. He's the kind of Emperor that just makes me love the Emperor card and not have any difficulties with it. Alright, this green man here is from the Chrysalis Tarot, the Green Man, and oh, this artwork, the Green Man as the Emperor, perfect, love it. The Forest Lord is from the Forest of Enchantment Tarot, and I adore this Emperor so much. Look at his kind face. He looks kind and just and helpful and everything that an Emperor should be. Adore him. The Emperor from the Oak, Ash and Thorn also gives me these special Emperor vibes that I look for in an Emperor card. And I adore how his antlers are kind of enveloping the moon there. It's a really special and powerful card. I like it so much. Oh, the chubby little Emperor from the Gentle Tarot has a special place in my heart. I can't get over how much I love this card. Every time I get it, I just feel so empowered, so like I can channel the Emperor energy straight out from this card. It's just so good. Oh, again from the Gaian Tarot, the Builder. I love the take they have taken, the path they've taken with this Emperor. That he is, you know, the crafty guy in the commune, you know, he's the guy who sorts things out, who gets things done, who builds and creates things, and yeah, really like this card for that. And the last one is from the Guardian of the Night Tarot. This Emperor as well gives me chills almost. He looks very emperor-y, and if that's a word, emperor-like maybe is a better word. But yeah, adore owls. You know, I love my owls, so I could not leave this guy out. So, quickly choosing a favorite emperor. Oh, again, this is going to be so difficult. Oh, I can't. Alright, so these two go out. This one can... Oh, yes, this one also go. So the thing is with doing this, they all portrayed the emperor and they all carry the emperor energy, but they all have their own version of the emperor energy. Do you know? So they all of them put together would create a whole emperor. If you understand my meaning, it's like, oh gosh, I can't choose between these. All right, I'll take that one out reluctantly. I'll take the green mine out reluctantly. Okay, so out of these three, I can't take any of them out. So I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1. Yes, I have decided that Aragorn is the perfect emperor, but close second and close third are these two, because honestly, this emperor, oh, I just love him so much. But Aragorn being the emperor and me loving the Lord of the Rings so much, it just gives me so much depth to the card that he was chosen for the emperor. So it has to be him. All right. Right, next one up is the Hierophant. And you are already going to see that there are going to be repeat decks in here. So, the Hierophant from the Hotspun Tarot just cracks me up every time with the sheep. You get the joke, right? The pun. I just adore it. Even though it's, I mean, I adore it for the joke and for the funniness and for getting a bit of humor into this card. Love it. The Gandalf, I mean, come on, as the Hierophant, it's just perfect. Gandalf, come on, he's the perfect Hierophant. He gives the Hierophant card such a positive vibe. Love it, adore it so much. Now, this is the first card from the Spacious Tarot. The Hierophant in the Spacious Tarot just really does something to me. Just the light, the sunlight coming through above the horizon here, between these standing stones. It just gives something ancient, something mysterious, something so meaningful and special. I absolutely love this card so much. And then the oldest one from the Forest of Enchantment. Perfection. Look at this tree. Look at this old wise one in a tree with the little owl up there living in it. It's just, this card, I love it so much. Then we've got another owl here in the Hierophant from the Oak, Ash and Thorn. The only thing is, I love this card because it's so adorable and so pretty and so cute. But looking at it now, I feel like the owl is too young. It looks too young. It needs to be an old, scraggly looking owl. Anyway, the Hierophant from the Mystical Tarot of Mystical Moments is adorable in all shapes and forms, and I love the storybook vibe and the fact that the owl is like teaching and reading to this young girl in the tree. So good. And last but not least, the Teacher from the Gaian Tarot. This card is just so good. I love it so much. Just look at her, or him, or they. Yeah. I'm speechless. It's just sitting there and teaching you about nature and how to live in harmony with it. That's the feel I get. So this is going to be a tough choice, you guys, as if all the choices haven't been tough. All right, so love this one, but it's going to go. Love this one, but it's going to go. This one is beautiful, but it's going to go. So now we've got 4 left. How am I to choose? Again, the Hierophant is a card that many people struggle with because in the Rider-Waite-Smith tradition, it's a very churchy, Christian type depiction with a pope or a priest of some kind, and these cards shy away from all of those, and all of them bring a different perspective of the Hierophant, and I can't possibly choose. Sorry, I'm a rule breaker. I thought I would be able to choose one from each pile, but I love all of these equally much. Now I'm not gonna force this, so these 4 are my favorite Hierophants. There, live with it. Alright, next one is the Lovers. And we are starting out with this gorgeous old couple from the Anna K Tarot. Look at them. They've chosen each other. They've spent a life together. And now they're sitting here together as an old couple, just enjoying each other's company, holding hands. And, I mean, it's the dream, isn't it? Or at least it's the dream for some of us. And adore the fact that it's an older couple as well, and not just these youngsters that are allowed to love, you know? Again, with the Lord of the Rings Tarot, I'm sorry, but this card is such a different take on the Lovers. I had to include it because it's Legolas and Gimli, and I love this choice, the depiction and the choice that the Lovers are friends, you know. It's not just romantic love that needs to be depicted in the Lovers. It's friendship, deep and meaningful friendship, and it's just, and they choose each other and choose to be friends despite the fact that they come from 2 different kinds of people who traditionally hate each other. So this is basically the friendship card of Romeo and Juliet. You know, I just love everything about it. The next one is from the Spacious Tarot, and this is just such a lovely and inclusive and abstract depiction of the Lovers. I love this, the colors in this, and how these 2 energies entwine. And you can also kind of look at it as a DNA strand, like two DNAs twining together, creating a new whole, for example. The Lovers from the Wildwood Tarot is also on my favorites list, just because this depicts a tradition. Well, it depicts a hand fasting. These two youngsters have chosen each other. They've chosen to bind themselves to each other and promise themselves to each other, and it's a beautiful thing. And also in the Wildwood book, they draw the parallel and suggest that this could be Robin Hood and Maid Marian as well. And it's just a gorgeous card overall, and it's the most traditional one I could find that I really liked. The Lovers is, by the way, my birth card, and I've always had a bit of a struggle with the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith depiction with the angel and the biblical tree of knowledge with all of that. This one though I can get behind, and I love this one. And last but not least is from the Anecdotes Tarot, and I adore this take on the card as well. Instead of a romantic couple here, we've got the tender love between a mother and a child, and or at least that's how I read it. I haven't actually gotten to know this deck so well yet, but we've got a little Cupid here as well, flying a kite, and a dog with them in the boat, and just this card overall just gives me such loving vibes. So, decision time. The favorite of these 5. How am I to choose? Oh, I love all of them. This one I'm gonna take away. Oh, see, this is what I'm struggling with, because these all depict a different kind of love, and it's all valid, and all of these loves are important in a person's life. So I'm going to put this one back in as well, because this one is the only one that's inclusive for everyone. So I am not going to choose again. These are all my favorite lovers, and that's that. I'm feeling cheeky today. Maybe it's the wine. Wine break. Okay, that was the Lovers. Next up is the Chariot. So, here we've got the card from the Dennis Fairchild tarot. The Chariot from the Dennis Fairchild tarot. Jeez, that was difficult. And I chose to bring this one into the selection because I just really like the Chariot being on a bike. And that he's just so carefree, just sitting on there, not even pedaling, just going down a hill full speed ahead, and kind of making this kind of weird circus act at the same time. I don't know, it just gives me happiness, this card, and it's cute and doodly and like it. Love it. Next one up is from the Victorian Fairy Tarot, and I love that this is a magpie and that he is helping this fairy out, or there are loads of them. It looks like these fairies ride magpies traditionally, or as a thing in general. But the only thing I'm not so keen on is the what is it called in English? The reins. That's what it's called, the reins. But the way Gary has depicted this magpie, he looks really happy to be doing this. So, still a favorite of mine as the Chariot. This Chariot is from the beautiful Mesquite tarot. And I have a few from the Mesquite tarot, but I think most of them got weeded out in the first selection round. But this one stayed in because this Chariot... Where was I? The Chariot. Love how it's like a leap of faith. She is flying above these mountains, just full speed ahead, loving it. The Chariot from the Oak, Ash and Thorn is also one of my absolute favorites. It's just magpies and snails. What is not to love? Honestly, so good. Last but not least, another snail card. This one I love because it reminds me of the Neverending Story and the snail, the racing snail in that book and the film. And it kind of gives me the feeling of, you know, the Chariot doesn't have to be fast all the time, you know? You can have the Chariot energy, but going at the speed that suits you. You don't always have to be careering away and just going at the speed of light, you know? It can be you know, a sincere and you know, what's the word I'm looking for here? Intentional movement towards your goal, but it can happen at the speed that you feel most comfortable with. So love that card. And choosing a favorite Chariot. Oh, my partner is coming home. I told him to go away for an hour, and now we are at an hour and I am not even halfway through. I might have to finish this video another day because, as I said, it is Midsummer Night's Eve or Midsummer Eve, and it's time for family, isn't it? So just choosing this card now, and then I'm going to stop and continue tomorrow. Right, I am going to love all of these, but I'm going to pick this one. I really just love the sentiment that this one comes across with. And so yeah, the Tarot of Mystical Moments win the Chariot favorites. Okay, so I'm back. It's the same day, but because my beautiful partner is going to cook me midsummer dinner, so I decided to continue while he's doing that, and we are continuing with strength. So first up is the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith strength. Could not include this because this is such an iconic image, and I noticed that most of my other favorite strength cards are completely based off of this one, so had to include it. The next one up is this beautiful cutie from the Forest of Enchantment. Sorry, not the Forest of Enchantment, the Tarot of the Magical Forest. Adore this strength card. It's just everything. The next one is from the Anake Tarot. Actually, now when I'm looking at this is not one of my favorites. Yeah, no, I'm putting this one away straight away. Sorry. The next one is from the Lord of the Rings Tarot. Come on, Frodo as strength. it's just perfection. Anybody, if you don't know Lord of the Rings, Frodo is the he symbolizes strength throughout the whole trilogy, carrying the ring to Mount Doom and everything. Just perfect. Another strength that I really like is this one from the Druidcraft Tarot. Look at this one. Look at, she just exudes strength and confidence. And I love the fact that this, the companion is a boar instead of a lion. That really, really rings true to me somehow. Another one that I really love is from the Forest of Enchantment, and this one is a nod to the Little Red Riding Hood. Basically, Little Red decided to stay in the forest and befriend the wolf, and they've grown old together, and it's just one of the few cards where the strength woman in the strength card is of age, of an older age, and this card means so much to me. The strength card from the Oak, Ash and Thorn is one of the best ones I've ever seen. Badgers are just such gorgeous animals. And I also love how it's just calmly dealing with all of the things happening here in the card. And yeah, love it. The strength card from the Gentle Tarot gets to me every time. It's just so amazingly beautiful and has to be one of my favorites. It just has to be. Another card from the Mystical Moments Tarot is this one. And I love the way that it looks like she is kind of assimilating the lion essence here and turning into a lioness herself. And she's like, looks like she's comforting this lion, and it's just, I love it. This is the strength card from the Gaian Tarot, and honestly, it's just so beautiful and so heartwarming. Adore it so much. Strength from the Witch's Wisdom Tarot. Now, I initially had so many from the Witch's Wisdom in my first round of this, and ended up eliminating most of them in the first round because of the reversed order. It felt like all of the mages have a really important and strong and beautiful message, but they stray so far away from the traditional meanings that I felt like they couldn't really be compared to the other ones, if you understand what I mean. It's like I wanted them to be included, but it would be like comparing apples and pears, you know, because I felt like, for example, the Devil card is the Ancestor card in the Gaian Tarot, and the Ancestor card means something completely different to how I read the Devil card. So it's like it's its own thing entirely. But this one has the same name, and I can see the strength being just the strength in this card overall. And I love that all of these animals, especially this moose, is in this card. So yeah, I decided to keep this one in. So choosing a favorite, oh, how is that possible? Well, all right, so I'm going to take away the original. I'm going to take away the Tarot of Mystical Moments. I'm going to take away the Lord of the Rings one, although it pains me. I'm also going to take away this one from the Druidcraft. I am also going to take away the whale. Oh, this is so difficult. I'm gonna take away the guy in tarot. And this one. Now it's difficult. I'm gonna take away this one as well. And this one. So, believe it or not, out of all of these beautiful cards, this one just touches my heart the most. I just love the gentleness in this card. Strength does not have to be brutal. Strength does not always have to be tough. Strength can be about love and gentleness and embracing things, and this card really drives that home for me. So this is my favorite. Alright, next one is the Hermit, and again I had to include, this one is one of the difficult ones because I adore the Hermit card overall, and just the traditional depiction of the Hermit just really strikes a chord with me. I love it so much. So the traditional Hermit had to come in this selection. Again, because all of my other favorites are in one way or another a copy or a inspired by this one. So yeah, he just looks so humble and wise, and he also gives me Gandalf vibes, so I suppose that's also why I love him. The Hermit card from the Joie de Vivre Tarot. Love this deck, love this Hermit. It's so cute, it's so special, and I just really like this Hermit. Can't say much more than that. Another old man with a beard and a lantern, but this guy has a wolf, and I really love Will Worthington's artwork in this one, and this is of course from the Druidcraft Tarot, and yeah, love the old man vibe for the Hermit. Another favourite is a bit of a different card, and this is from the Forest of Enchantment Tarot. You're quickly going to be deducing here what my favourite decks are, because all of my favourite mages are obviously from my favourite decks. So this major here, this Hermit here is just so cozy. The badger, again, a badger. How can I say no? Beautiful depiction of a hermit just sitting there in his little hovel, reading, writing in front of the fire. It's just the perfect hermit energy, isn't it? The Hooded Man from the Wildwood Tarot, also really amazing hermit card. Love this artwork so much. Obviously, I had to include the Hermit from the Lord of the Rings Tarot, Fangon or Treebeard. It's the perfect hermit. Just look at him. He's just amazing, and I love Treebeard in the books. He's just so funny. Love him. The Hermit. Okay, this is the first card that I'm including from the Fountain Tarot. This Hermit is just so evocative. I love this card. with the man facing this high wall of forest or thicket of some kind, and just the light of the lantern just hitting it, and it's just and this was the first card I thought of when I thought of my favorite hermit. The card, this is from the Old-Fashioned Thorn, and I'm losing my way of speaking. The hedgehog, walking his little path, following the little fireflies. Adore this card. Love it so much. This one is from the Victorian Fairy Tarot. Another old man sitting in a hovel doing his thing, and then there's grumpy little owl outside. Oh, adore. Then we have the Hermit from the Happy Tarot. Another depiction of the traditional just old man with beard, but in a cute way, and adore these colors. These colors are just everything. This Hermit is from the Llewellyn Tarot, and he is just so amazing. Look at this light from the torch that he's carrying, and the clothing he's wearing, and everything about this card feels magical. Had to include the gorgeous cutie pie from the Tarot of the Magical Forest. He makes me so goddamn happy. Love him to death. Another bear card for the Hermit is this one from the Heartspun Tarot. I adore it. I can't choose. How will I choose? This one as well. Look at him. This is from the Dark Mansion Tarot. He just looks like this quirky old man from some kind of Edgar Allan Poe novel or something, and just crooked old man with this long beard and his little glasses, and has little raven on his shoulder. I love him to bits. The Hermit from the Spacious Tarot always also makes me feel really special. I like this card so much. It's just this light shining in the darkness. So evocative, so special. Love it. This card, this Hermit, is from the Lua Tarot, and I love this because it's an old woman as the Hermit, and I love that. And I love her pondering face, and like it looks like she's on the search for something in an old cave. I adore this card so much. This is the card that made me want to buy the Lua Tarot, by the way. And the last one here is the Hermit from the Shimmering Veil Tarot. I had lots of Shimmering Veil cards in the first round, but I think this is one of maybe 2 or 3 ones that remained after the first elimination. And this one is also just very, very evocative, full of moodiness and magic. Again, this is going to be impossible to choose, because Hermit overall is one of my favorite Mage's cards, as you can probably tell, because I had so many favorites picked out in this round. Just going to have to look at them all at once and pick a favorite, and it's going to be difficult. So difficult. Alright, but straight away I can definitely see some of them have to go. All right, so I am keeping, putting away, putting away, putting away, putting away, putting away. Right, we are getting there. Right, this is going to become quite a challenge. Okay, so I think I've made up my mind. I'm going to cheat again. And since I'm cheating, it doesn't matter how many I'm cheating with, right? So I'm gonna put back some of the I have to include the original in this, so I'm gonna put these are my choices. Yes, these are my choices. So these are all my favorite Hermit cards. So we have the Lua Tarot, the Oak, Ash and Thorn, the Llewellyn, the Forest of Enchantment, the Lord of the Rings, the Spacious Tarot, the Tarot of A.E. Waite, and the Dark Mansion Tarot. Could not choose. But there you have it. Next up is the Wheel of Fortune, and the first one here is the Wheel of Fortune from the Victorian Fairy Tarot, and this card is just so gorgeous. It has representations of all the 4 seasons here, as well as the sun and the moon and the universe in the background there. And then these 2 fairies, one sitting on top of the wheel and one sitting underneath it. And yeah, gorgeous card. The next one is from the Anna K Tarot, and I really love this one because we have this wheel and we have people on top of it, we have people trying to climb on top of it, and we have people falling off of it. And if you look in the background there, you see Mother Fortune or Lady Fortune standing there, just turning the wheel, and I think that's a really just perfect depiction of the Wheel of Fortune. The Lord of the Rings Tarot makes its appearance once again, and here we have the ring, the one ring who rules them all, and that's just, perfect for the Wheel of Fortune, in my opinion. The Enchantress Wheel from the Forest of Enchantment is a gorgeous card, and in my opinion a really lovely depiction of the Wheel of Fortune as well. Next one up is from the Oak, Ash and Thorn. Again, just a beautiful Wheel of Fortune, with the spider web creating the wheel. We have a snake and an owl and a mouse that's dangling in between them. Both the snake and the owl are natural enemies of the little mouse. And yeah, it's just a very cool card. Then next one is from the Gaian Tarot. This is a beautiful depiction of the Wheel of Fortune as well. Here we also have depictions of all of the four seasons. We have all of the moon phases. We also have the zodiac signs and butterflies, and just love this card. Last but not least is the Wheel of Fortune or Wheel of Life from the Witch's Wisdom. This card is one of my favorite cards in the whole deck, I think. It's so gorgeous. It has depictions here and representations for all of the major Sabbats, I believe, in the Wheel of the Year. And in the middle here we have a spider in its web, and yeah, gorgeous card. So now for the choosing of the favorite. I think I already feel that these can go, and then we have these left. And although I think these two are so beautiful, they're both quite similar in its depiction, and I really just love this Anna Kay depiction of the Wheel of Fortune. It just tells you everything you need to know about this card. So yay, I managed to stay within the rules. This is my favorite Wheel of Fortune card. But I also love all of these. All right, next one up is number 11 and Justice. So we are starting out with the Justice from the Dark Mansion Tarot. When it comes to the Justice card, I like very traditional depictions most of the time. And this one just really makes me think of a traditional British magistrate type thing, and he or she or they just look very very proper and prim and like to think of themselves as just, so I decided to pick this one out. The next one is from the Lua Tarot, and I just love this very kind of ancient and traditional looking Justice with the scales in one hand, the sword in one. We have a wise owl there on the side, and a moon above her head, and this card is just so gorgeous. I love it. Next one is from the Spacious Tarot, and I really like this one with the duality here of the black and white stone creating these rings of on the water, symbolizing the consequences of our actions, and yeah, very, very deep and significant Justice card in my opinion. The next one up is from the Forest of Enchantment. This one is called the Huntsman, and he is just there to protect the creatures and the life in the forest, looking after everybody, seeing that everything is being fairly done. And the story of this card in the guidebook is just so beautiful. I had to bring it in. And the last but not least one is the Balance card from the Witch's Wisdom, and I just love the way this old woman is teaching this younger generation how to justly and responsibly gather food in the forest so that it is enough for everybody, both humans and animals alike. And it's just such a beautiful sentiment. So yes, we have these ones to choose from. And difficult, but I think I'm gonna take that one out. I think I'll take that one out as well. Although I just said that I really like the traditional form of justice, I love this one. But I also like all of these ones as depictions. So here we go again. I'm choosing these three because I can't choose an absolute favorite. If you were to hold a gun up to my head, I would probably choose this one. But as it is, I decide what I do and I choose these three. So there's that. That was justice. Next one up is the Hanged Man, and we are starting out with the Hanging Fairy from the Victorian Fairy Tarot, and I love this depiction of the Hanged Man because most depictions just show you this serene looking man with a light shining from his head, showing you that, you know, the hanging upside down like this isn't a big deal. No, but this one I like because he's in such distress, and that just goes to show that changing your perspectives until learning a lesson isn't always going to be this serene, meditating kind of, you know, ordeal. Sometimes it is an ordeal. Sometimes it isn't pleasant. It isn't deep and fun or serene. It can be this way, that you get stuck somewhere and you're forced to think of something different to do. And I just love this card for that reason. Next one up is the Hanged Man from the Anarchy Tarot, and I adore this one because his face, it cracks me up every time. He is so goddamn grumpy, and I love it. I love it so much. Again, probably for the same reason I love the Hanging Fairy, because he's just not happy at all about hanging there, and it's raining and he's wet and it's just everything's wrong. So I adore this card for that. The Hanged Man in the Lord of the Rings Tarot is Faramir on the funeral pyre, and this one is just so chock full of meaning if you know the story behind this. And I'm not going to go into it now, but if you are interested in hearing my analysis of this card, you can watch the long walkthrough that I did of the Lord of the Rings Tarot, and I will link that up here if I can remember it. If I haven't linked it, please drop me a comment and I will link it to you straight away. So this one has such meaning to me, and it just gives them so much perspective to the Hanged Man card, and it's just such a good teacher for this card for me, so that's why it's in here. The Hanged Man from the Trionfi della Luna, it makes me laugh every time as well, because he just looks so funny. His facial expression from this snake just screaming in his face. It just kind of looks like, ooh, it cracks me up. And because it cracks me up, it makes me look at things from a different perspective, and I just love that about this deck. The Suspension card from the Forest of Enchantment had to be in this selection, because it's just also the story in the book is just phenomenal, and it gives such new perspective to this card. And I love that they've renamed it Suspension as well, because that's what the Hanged Man is. You take a pause to reevaluate and to see things from different perspectives, and gaining clarity and meditating and all of that jazz. And this card just perfectly illustrates that in a different way. the Hanging Woman had to be in this from the Gentle Tarot. She also has brings a different perspective. Again, we have the moon phases here, and she's just swinging upside down and naked and free and happy, and just gives such another look at this card. And I love this perspective of the Hanged Man as well. And this card just makes me happy. So it's in the favorites. The Hanged Man is the possum in the Guardian of the Night Tarot, and just adore this card overall. It's so pretty, and it reminds me of Krista, so it has to be in here. It has to be amongst my favorites. Another one, let's see, this is another one where I have so many favorites, I don't know how to choose. This is from the Anecdotes Tarot, and this one just makes me so serene and happy. And I love the seagulls, and I love how there's seaweed and coins dropping out of the pockets, and the clothing. I want all of that. The style of this woman. I love it. I want all of these clothes. Yeah, so adore this card. This is from the Tarot of Mystical Moments. This one gives me such Alice in Wonderland vibes. It's just a gorgeous card. Love it so much. And yeah, really, really pretty in every way. And I also can read so much into this with the zipper coming down here. And what is she holding? Oh, she's just holding her hands to her heart. Yeah, just gorgeous. And this one from the Gaian Tarot is really, really hitting home with the meditating part of the card. She's holding her hands up to her chest like in a namaste position. It's like she's doing the tree pose but upside down, and it's just she's doing the tree pose hanging upside down in a tree, which is it just has so many layers to it. And I just adore the colors in this card as well. And also the illusion that you get from her dress being, or her pants and top being all clouds, and then she's up in the clouds, and it's just gorgeous. So these are so many, I don't think they're going to fit in the screen. And you all know already I'm not going to be able to choose one favorite out of these. So we are just going to have to eliminate one card at a time, and then see what we are left with when I can't eliminate anymore. I'm going to take that one away. I'm going to take that one away. Even though I love them and it pains me. I am going to keep oh gosh. It pains me to take this one away, but I will. Because I can't keep all of them. Says who? Says I. Okay, so even though this one just really speaks to me aesthetically, I'm going to take it away. Because I feel like all the other ones bring a new perspective to the Hanged Man that I haven't had before, except for the fact that we do not have the traditional Hanged Man here, where we're just calmly kind of taking things on. So I am going to add this one back, because this one has, possums hang upside down naturally, don't they? So he's not in any distress hanging there. And we've got the sunshiny glowiness around the head, suggesting that he's having a moment of epiphany. And I would have included the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith Hanged Man, but decided that I had already included so many of those. So these are my favorite hanged men or women or fairies. So that's that. Yes, I am not doing very well. I'm not going to be able to call this the hashtag 22 faves, am I? Wow, okay, so this video is taking a lot longer than I anticipated, so I might have to divide this into 2 separate videos and call it part 1 and part 2, because I just looked at the footage that I've made from just filming from the Fool to the Hanged Man, and we are nearly at 2 hours. Even though I have tried to talk as fast as I can. So yeah, this is now going to be the outro for episode 1 or part 1, and we will continue tomorrow or another day with part 2. So I hope that you are enjoying this. I don't know if this is fun for anybody else but me, but thank you so much for watching, if you are still watching after all of my faffing about with these cards. But yes, thank you so much for watching. Please take care of yourselves, be well, my friends, and I'll see you in my next video.